Down in a local bar, out on the boulevard, the sound of the
Well, we have the show today,
Yeah.
and then we leave tomorrow. So we're off to Australia. I'm in the middle of a tour with my other band. I have a band called Twin Forks.
Yep.
And we're, I don't know, something like week 14, 15 of a world tour. And we were this close, you know, to Singapore. And I felt like I could get there in a day out, couldn't I? So we had some friends that were helping put this together so I wouldn't miss it.
Alright, so just a brief background knowledge of Chris. He's the lead singer of and guitarist of Dashboard Confessional,
That's true.
and also a vocalist for American alternative rock band, like you said before, Twin Forks.
Yeah.
And you guys just released your EP self-titled, this year in September.
That's right. And we have Twin Forks has a record full length coming out in January.
Yeah. So before I open the question to the floor, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I'd love it if you asked me questions. Otherwise, this would be totally weird if we just sat here.
Yeah. So
Let's try that first time. No, let's try this sitting.
I think it's okay.
Does anybody like this better? Nobody? All right, let's go back to the format. Like in my life?
In your career.
In my career. There's a few haircuts I would have skipped, I suppose.
Like the one that both of us is currently having right now.
No, I wouldn't skip this one. This is my go-to. See, my hair grows straight up, and I've tried to fight it a couple of times. Well, it's a losing battle. It's not good for anybody. Certainly not me. What would I change though in my profession? I don't know. I don't think I'd change anything. I've had such great luck. I've had great relationships born out of the kind of music we play and the scene that we're from, and we've gotten to see the world. I know what I would change. I would see the world as opposed to just the clubs that I play at or the arenas that we're at or wherever, whatever tour we're on. Because I see a lot of hotels, and I see, like, for example, I know we're in Singapore.
Yep.
Because that's the airport behind it. And when I look out the window, it's clearly Singapore. But I'm not going to be able to see a single site today other than the venue. So if I could do it all over again, I'd have like a day extra in every great place that we go to. But that's just not the way it works.
Is there anything else you want to add?
To that, I just talked a lot. I've always known I wanted to do music seriously, and I made plans for doing that when I thought it could be a profession, when I thought it could be only like an auxiliary profession. I was on a career path that would kind of grant me certain lengths of time off that were more months or weeks or whatever it was than other career paths. For example, I was studying to be a teacher, and I was briefly a teacher. And in the States, there's 2 months off in the summer. So I figured that's like, I've already done my work all year. 2 months is a really long, like everybody else is a week or 2 weeks. But there's 2 months where there's no school. Of course, it pays like a job where there's 2 months off, you know? It's not the best paying job in the world, but I figured then I could go out and play music. And I'd have already sorted out my bills. And somewhere along the line, I had a great opportunity come across because of all that extensive touring. Want to get it?
No, it's okay.
It's not for me?
No.
It's not for me. So I realized that I had some great opportunities, but then I felt a certain conviction to the path I committed myself to. So I got very lucky with one of my employers who just said, this is silliness that you wouldn't chase this. This is once in a lifetime. And I felt terrible that I would leave them in a bad place, and they said, we'll keep you employed here for a year. So if it doesn't, that doesn't even pay me, but they would hold my job for 1 year. So if it didn't work out, I had a place to come back. And if it wasn't for that, I'm not sure I would feel comfortable having left that job that I was dedicated to. It was a real helping hand that he gave me. She was wonderful. inspiration with music for me is really elusive. It's hard to define. You think it's going to come always from the same place. Um, it doesn't. I would say, generally speaking, I would say it's your life experiences or those experiences of the people really close to you that you can almost feel because you're so close to them that you feel like it's yours too. You know. Alternately, you might get inspired by a book you read 10 years ago that you didn't realize had resonated with you until you had a life experience that was similar to that. And even though maybe that experience wasn't so profound, that story you read was so profound. So suddenly it's worthy of a song. But how it comes to me is a mystery, and I have to keep changing it. I have to keep tricking myself into ways to get the songs out. Because I have the best guitar. There's like 1,000 songs in that guitar, if not more, in that one guitar. But I have to keep tricking that guitar to let them out. You know, I have to play it on a railroad track, or go to the beach, or play outside, play at this little bar that I play at on Thursday nights.
Get a feel of it.
Yeah, like it's gotta. She wants to keep the songs in there. I want them out. So I have to keep tricking her. My celebrity crush. I have just one.
Like, can you
No,
name
seven.
of them?
Let's go down the list. So, Taylor Swift, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, this is going to be a long list. I don't know how deep to go here. Well, let's leave it at that.
These guys we have a lot of crush.
Okay.
So it's normal to have more than 10, 20.
More than 20?
Yeah.
What do I look for in a girl? Someone with low expectations, I guess. I don't know.
First of all, they have to be pretty, right?
They have to be pretty. I think
Somewhere
women
around.
are pretty in many, many different ways. So they have to be smart. They have to be funny. I think that makes them pretty. That's just my opinion. I like a caustic sense of humor. I like somebody that's very quick on their feet. And I'm impressed with women that can hold their own under any topic, you know. So that's kind of what I look for. I like somebody that I can, I guess, match wits with anybody, including me, I guess. I mean, this room is really nice, but the gym next door was killer. It was awesome. It's right next to the pool. There was another dude in there. We said hi, and he left, and then I left. It was a good time. I like that boat building. That looks cool. You should go there.
So you've never actually been sightseeing in Singapore before?
I've run through Singapore before, but I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just like, oh, this must be a place. They're like, that's a supermarket. I don't have a tour guide. Somebody said a tour guide. So Singapore is the most memorable city I've ever played in at the moment. This is happening right now. It's hard to forget. It's very hard to forget.
And then?
And then ever? Jeez, that was Amsterdam was pretty great. Not that I remember all of it. Quite like South America a lot. I like Brazil. I'd say Sao Paulo is incredible. It's probably my favorite place I've been. other than here in Singapore and other cities in Southeast Asia. Quick, next question. Bail me out of this. If I could choose one, it'd be awesome to play in America ever again so that I could sleep in my own bed. Sometime in the near future, God willing. Man, I'd love to be in Aerosmith. I mean, like I can kick real high and I can do backflip. And I mean, Steve Tyler is like one of the best frontmen I couldn't compare. And I definitely don't have long hair, but that I could fix. But I've got a range. I think I could hold my own. I'd like to think I could hold my own. I don't know how he does it, because he's been at this for a long, long time. I'd have thrown my back out probably a year or two into that kind of performance, but he seems to have it together. That'd be the one, if I could replace anybody.
Okay, I'll ask one more. I understand that you and City and Dallas Green are close friends and you guys are touring soon.
Yeah, so one of the great things about having been in all these bands is you have these great friends that you make over the years, like Dallas and I. We met, I can't believe it's true, but I think we met in 1999 in Canada in a room this big that there was a hardcore show going on. There was no stage or anything. And he was playing with Alexis on Fire, and I think I was just there playing by myself. I think it was the first time I'd done Dashboard anyway. And we hit it off. We just started talking about other bands we loved and the kind of guitar playing that we loved. And so I'm not surprised to see that Dallas followed that path, the same kind of path that I went down. But that's true of all of the bands I've toured excessively, the Like Saves the Day and My Chemical Romance and all these, it's just great friends that we've made. I think that's the best part of doing what I do is it's finding like-minded friends and being on a similar path, and it holds you together. I think I gave Dallas one of his first tours of City of Color. He gave us our very first tour with Twin Forks in Europe. He's really kind to remember that I'd helped him in now that he's so big now, and he's got us out with him currently in Australia. This is a day off from that tour. Thanks for the questions.
Last question. Yeah. Dashboard, Confessional, and Beatbox, they are awesome band names. How do you come with it? Was it like a band generator app?
There were no apps when I came up with that. Let's think about this. So I can answer Twin Forks more easily, or not more easily, but I remember it like it was yesterday because it was closer to yesterday than Dashboard's name was. It's the place we record at. It's this little garage. We call it Twin Forks, like we made up a town name. Because none of us are from the same city or state. So, like I'm from, like Jonathan and I are from the South, but different places in the South. And Ben's from Florida, but not where we currently live in Florida. And Susie's from New York, but she had family in Florida, and so we all ended up hanging out together. We built like, oh, this is our spot, our hangout, our zone. And so that's where Twin Forks came from. And what it means to us is that, there's a fork in the road. Do you know that expression, fork in the road? Yeah. So we kind of looked at it as like where we all came from. It was like these twin forks, It was me and John, Ben, and Susie, and we were meeting in the middle of that. It wasn't about the forks going away, where it was taking us. It was about where we were merging together. And with Dashboard, I wrote a song very early on. I can remember where I was. There was a girl who was letting me use her hose to shower when I lived in a van, which was a glamorous time in my life, which I actually miss. It's a good van. It wasn't like a crappy van. If you gotta live in a van, you should it's gotta be at least a 1986 or later. Mine was in 1986. Old beat over 300,000. This is the less interesting part. But I remember that I was sitting in the back of that van with like the doors open this beautiful night, and where was it? Georgia, maybe. Sky, and I wrote this song. The song's called Sharp End of New Tears, which is a mouthful anyway. And I don't know, it says on the way home, this car, here's my confessions, and I don't know what prompted me to do it, but I wrote Dashboard Confessional in the corner because of this vehicle. It was like I didn't have anything else. You know, I just was driving around the country playing to be close. That was my home. I had a bed in there. It was nice when people let me use their actual showers. It was okay still if they let me use the garden hose. And I just kind of felt like it was the only thing I had in the world. It was like the place where I could center myself. It was the only thing I had. I had that and my guitar, a little gas money. So, it seemed appropriate. And I didn't know I was doing a band at the time. That's why I wrote it in the corner instead of like at the top of the page. Like, this is it. Like it was like if I ever start a band, I'm gonna call it this. If this ever becomes a thing, And I guess it did. Not long after. Thank you. I think I do. I think I don't intend to, but I think it's brought out in the music, from the music, and I think it's brought out from the people in those bands, the camaraderie. The spirit of camaraderie is unique in each of them, even though they're as deep as, the kind of big connection. I would say, like, the feeling of those 4 people in Twin Forks, it's just joyous. So the music became real joyous, and I shut off any of the pretentiousness that comes when you stand at a microphone, and I happily shut it off. I don't know how much of it I had to begin with, but I know that there was enough of it that I felt it lift off my shoulders when I was able to just say, okay, the idea of this band is that everybody that comes here
It's gonna leave happy.
is going to leave happy. And with Dashboard, I think it was about the important emotional connection that we had with each other, audience and people on stage. And so everybody was going to leave feeling, connected with us and us with them. And that's kind of how the show ran. And with Further Seems Forever, I was just trying to live through it because those guys are giants. And they're, massive juggernauts on stage, and they jump around like crazy. The next shortest guy is like 6'6". So I just try to survive the damn thing. So I guess that brought out a certain aggression in my approach to the music there, which is aggressive, and it's. The funny thing about that band is that the band was heavy, but it was really musical. I'm crediting these other players now, not taking any credit for myself here. But I think it's because they are all giants, and they're all like these gentle giants. So they could just beat you up, they could crush your head. And that like the same approach could be taken to their playing. They could have just been like the heaviest hardcore band in the world. But because they're gentle, spirited guys, they're able to access this unique melodic thing. And it still packs a punch because they're enormous. Their talent's enormous as well as their heads and bodies. They do have big heads. I hate to have to fit them with a helmet. If I ever had to make a wooden one in my next career for these guys, like a wooden helmet, it definitely would send it back. I'd say double, triple X maybe. Especially when they're bearded. They grow these beards that are like this wide. Like they all grow wide. My beard grows like down. Yours grows out like this. I'm gonna get beard extensions when I come back next time we have. Right. To the friends here in the room.
Media friends.
Yeah, I would say, well, first of all, thank you for writing about us. And I don't know where we'd be without people like you. It's a pretty impressive and important thing that's connection that I have with it, or enables me to have that connection with an audience. I think I'm watching it happen with Twin Forks now, where these writers are writing about us, and we're trying very hard to distance ourselves from the bands that we're in otherwise. be really stealthy about the fact that I was in dashboard, you know, really just promote it, give the thing a chance to succeed or fail on its own, and merit, which it deserves, even if it fails. And I think the fact that the press has taken I guess they've taken on the responsibility almost to present it to their readers. Like, you judge it. It exists and we like it, or we don't, but here, you judge it for yourselves. I think that's a great invitation, especially since we're trying. It'd be much easier for me to just go, I was in dashboard, this is my new band. But I don't think it would be fair. You know, we have 2,000 people at our shows this time, and then 100 next time. You know, it's supposed to go the other way. And that's what. So that's one thing I would say. The other thing I would say is that if I'm just talking to people here in this room or media, right, people in media in general, which isn't exactly the question you asked, but my opinion, is that I like that most everybody that does what you guys do it because you're fans of music or art or movies or TV or whatever that is. And as somebody who has made a profession out of that too, I just respect it. Yeah, I feel cool, man. Nice. We did it.